Welcome again to the one, the only L3IRD, the bird, getting some words with you all, and it is the episode number 21 of this series that we call Learning League. Just a few things before we go right quickly. We want to thank everybody over there in the chat room right now, all 20, 19, 18, I don't know how many people are, but, do spread the word about Definitive Esports, D-esports.com. We do some awesome work over there on the website to, give you some knowledge and some facts about, just in general, League of Legends, EVE Online, StarCraft 2, stuff like that. All the big games coming on right now. A little out of breath right now, but the other thing we wanted to thank is all the sponsors on the top little left over there: XMG, Antec, Triton, BenQ, and Madcats. But we are going to go right into the episode today. It is called the Team of Solos. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, I mean, it's a kind of mundane, but kind of good topic because everyone's kind of facing it right now, mostly everybody, but we're in the solo queue kind of area, and the Strictly Meta series is actually going to take a pause really quick. I forgot about this really quickly though. I was going to be talking about Rengar this week, but the thing is they did just globally announce that Rengar was banned, so my prep for all of that stuff was actually just denied, so whatever. I mean, Rengar is pretty OP, and I do agree with the ban that Riot's doing for the World Championship. But solo queue versus, team ranked / team play, right? Right now we're just seeing some solo queue / a guy named Donkey, if you ever known about him. He's a pretty cool dude. He's showing how this guy's OP and that guy's OP. And literally, everyone's OP in the game of League of Legends. In the beginning, in the end, and in everything. Just because technically in solo queue you can't really trust anything, right? That's supposedly the biggest thing about solo queue, right? But people think, say, do, why solo queue? We're going to take a little bit of example of a game which I just actually recently watched today. It was actually a pretty cool game, and unfortunately, I mean, it has some okay people. We do see St. Vicious over there and stuff like that. But why solo queue? Following around this solo queue game of 29 minutes in, and I think you do see the timer because I did take off the little link. It's about 54 minutes. I mean, in general, solo queue is a way to practice your skill, practice and harness on League of Legends in general, right? So you want to get better at this game by playing more games, repetition, practicing, stuff like that, but you're not really having too much fun of it just because there's a lot of trolls, there's a lot of everything in the area, in the way, and you feel like it's not worth it. I.e., like, for 6 months ago, I was actually still like 1100 now. That's about 1600. I just went back down to 1590, but I had that faith, like, why even play this game just because I'm gonna be stuck in this elo forever and blah 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 blah. Well, in general, you just have to keep on kind of playing to your disadvantages, right? Double left freak also repeat it as well. Solo queue is there for you to improve and for you to play for yourself. And literally, even at this juncture of the game, where we do see like blue team just wrecking kind of really hard on the map control, but they're barely up in gold, you are in an instance where you can practice out something of, well, I'm behind, I need to catch up, or I'm ahead and I want to secure this game. And with the timer being at 50 minutes, I don't think blue team really secures this game too fast, but in general, I'm ahead. What do I do to keep ahead? And this is like the general ideas, the ideals you want to actually practice down on solo queue as a player for yourself, but also as a communicator for yourself as well. Because in general, well, I've had that feeling of actually raging at my teammates and stuff like that, and I've had to hold that inside because technically, even though like we had a bad exchange at bottom, or we had fail invade that had like 3 or 4 kills onto us instead, if you bite your lip and kind of just try to play it out, you won't, dare I say it, you won't be playing as bad as you should be just because you're just trying to focus on the game and such. So one thing solo queue does for you, if it doesn't do that already, you should try to start learning, is your patience. It's your timing and ability of actually just take it in and assess the situation without being pressured to really push upon yourself that, oh, I need to make plays, or oh, I need to just do this and just stay at this, which most people learning out just the game in general think of anyway. So like say you're Gragas, or if you're Ezreal, I want to go kill something, or I want to go CS and farm my lane only. Like, that's a good thing in a way, but it's also, you have to know when timings are for yourself to see, oh, well, my team's getting pushed all the way over at mid, just in general timing, right? My team's getting pushed right now. I need to go over here to help my team, help out and push away and push at these people back, so that I can not die / not lose. Or, oh, I have to secure buffs right now, and my team's around with me. I can go secure this buff and try to contest it, like what they're doing right now, trying to secure blue or trying to secure this tower over here. Like, it's really, really important that map awareness is a thing that isn't really taught, but you can really learn from just solo queuing up, or just queuing up in games in general. Again, practice repetition is really perfect, and that's what you get with just solo queuing or just playing the game of League of Legends in general, right? But with solo queue, it puts, I guess, a little bit more pressure because you're playing for titles, you're playing for War Hero Janus skin, you're playing for achievements. And with achievements, you kind of want to focus a little bit more. You want to, try to get down on more. Like right over here, I'm gonna put it back a little bit, about a half second. We had pretty much the whole purple team just grouped up over here because they want to push out. They want to just secure some control / vision over on here. And we do see that Gragas just stays behind. And with Wukong and Diana, they could have actually caught. And that was really, really decent engage by the blue team, although they didn't have to waste that flash for Wukong. But in general, that was a really decent engage / that was a really good call, just because technically they were standing outside and Gragas was just waiting there getting baited, and he could have died if there was some action done. But that's what you have to practice in solo queue, like communication to just try to get in there on time, but just the self-decisiveness of that initiation by Wukong / Diana, technically, because Diana wanted to do it first. But by Wukong really, really sets you apart from what you would have not done, because you practice that out. You want to initiate and you want to get that kill, but technically you didn't get it. Oh well, it's okay. You just practice that and then you just repeat it again, and then hopefully when you do see Gragas again pretty much sticking up your face, you go ahead and get the kill. So that's all kind of gravy right there. But overall, in solo queue, you just have the general idea that you want to get better, right? So that's why you do practice in normals or in blind pick, but more in ranked, just because, well, other than the trolls that come out sometimes of solo queue, but just because you want to get better at this game. And even though blind pick, which I don't disagree with, draft pick, I don't disagree with as normals, it's a bit different when something is on the line, I guess, if you know what I mean. While you're playing normal draft, while you're playing like normal blind, I mean, technically it's fun, and you do still get that practice and repetition, and if you feel safe and comfortable enough, you do get to, own up some people, I guess, if you want to say that. But there's a certain point when you hit blind pick, or there's a certain point when you hit draft that, you say, I'm like 20-0-6, or I'm like 14-7-8. I'm doing pretty well. I can possibly go on to rank and try this out. And in instance for me, I was like, yeah, I don't know about ranked. It's really hard. At season 1, I tried it out like really early, and I didn't even have runes for ranked, and I lost pretty bad. And for season 2, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do ranked until I'm like really super prepared. And I think it was my stream before when I was on Ode. I was thinking, well, maybe I should just try rank once, and then if I do lose, I'll just not do rank ever again and stuff. And then somebody in the stream chat said, you know what? If you're gonna even try, you should just play rank and just go through your true elo and just play it out. Just because the more games in ranked you play, the better you get in gaming, just because you're feeling that you're more pressured and stuff. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna take the drop, and I'll go down to, I think my lowest elo was about 990, I think, about 1k, and I just raised myself up and stuff like that, little by little, with a really, really slow climb. But in general, you know, ranked is not really indicative of skill. I mean, elo is not indicative of skill, but it does help just prepare you more and more and more while you go on. So solo queue is there for you to improve, play for yourself. So what happens if you fall behind in a game, fail a game, sorry. You never fail a game, you can fall behind that, you can fall behind. And right now, this is what Red Team has been doing. Like, they had a decent gold advantage / disadvantage at the time we started this replay, and they fell behind a little bit just because they get picked off just a little bit more and more. So, like right here, they have a good engage from Wukong, but they have a really good defense, and this is something that you want to do. You want to defend pretty well. You already have a great front line with Jackson, also with Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath's just doing his work, Jackson's doing his work, and really that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to just defend, ward up, get that vision, and get that control over in the jungle so that you can pick off, take some really good advantages, and, well, just go over here and just own it up like St. Vicious is trying to do on Banny Bear right now.
Shut down.
That Jenny. But, I mean, in general, what you want to do is just whatever you have that advantage of where you just took away a 3 for 2 or 2 for 3 pretty much, you want to just try to push up, get some more control on the map. In the game of League of Legends in general, map control is just super vital. If you don't have map control, it's not going to work out. It's definitely not going to happen for you at all. I mean, that's the same thing with RTS, it's the same thing with anything of a game. Once you have control of something, you can actually just do so much more. So, having this control right now where St. Vicious and Jenny are actually in the front, they're pretty pushed behind, but again, they don't have to worry about it because it's at 38 minutes. That means they have super long timers. So in general, that's what you want to do. You want to just keep on controlling, defend when you can, and when you have that really great defensive standout, like over here when they had that defensive player at tower, it's really simple to just turn this game over. And that's what Red Team's doing right now. They're just taking it over and they're trying to take it over to themselves. What happens if the game snowballs badly to you? Just a spoiler for this game, because I'm not going to go through the whole replay, but Red Team kind of throws, and you know, that just happens. But if something snowballs badly for you, say the score was about like 36 to 22, and the gold lead is about, well, 7 to 8k at this moment, it's a pretty far game. What you want to learn, or what you want to practice in general, if you're a support per se, what you want to learn is positioning rewards and then trying to position your team to catch. In general, as a red team or as a team that's falling behind right now, I would want to try to catch, not try to make this play right now rather than Baron, which is a decent play just because you do have Cho'Gath that could over smite, but I just don't know. We'll see. We do see the smite going down, and we do see the massive damage down, but I don't know if this trade's going to be good enough, because we do see Jax just taken down at first. Shockcaster side taking over for me, and yeah, I don't know if that was the best call from the red team right over there, especially with Diana just diving onto Ezreal. So definitely you want to learn when to catch more than try to make plays per se, and that the Baron call was actually decent, but it wasn't the smartest of plays, definitely not. So definitely if you're snowballing bad, you want to try to find a way to catch, and catching in general requires you to ward, and with wards requires general more communication, stuff like that. So in general, you want to communicate with your team. That is another thing. When you're snowballing or falling behind, you want to learn how to do that. And see if you can actually just redeem yourself just a little bit through that way as well. Other than that, some people would say it's trolling, but you want to be mispositioned a little bit so that you can try to make plays in that kind of order, just so that you can have that practice and repetition already to set yourself up in a time when you know you can beat yourself out later per se, and not probably in the game that you're at concurrently, but in general, maybe like another game, and so you can actually, you know, think about your next play and think about, oh, I've done this before and I could do this again, so I just have to do this and that, and then it'll work out. Which means that, you know, I kind of advocate trolling a little bit, but I don't advocate like super trolling, like feeding or so. Like trolling in the way that, you know, you're gonna make a play, but you know, if it doesn't work, it's not gonna cost you anything really. So what happens if the game is snowballing good for you? We do have blue team taking a little bit of a lead right now, and we're kind of rocking it right now, but I don't know if blue team is going to be pushing up so far or so ahead so lately. But in general, if you're snowballing ahead, you can just take the same kind of approach that if you're snowballing behind can do. Except for you have to be a little bit more cautious that they don't actually catch up. Say the game is like on 40 to like 20 and the gold lead's about 12 to 10k up. If a blue team, like, you want to kind of just push up and slowly push like they're doing right now, and, you know, trying to get that tower. In general, that's a decent decision, and that's just playing it regular and normal. Again, you want to find some engages like what Wukong was doing, and just practice on that. Mostly, if anything, if you're snowballing ahead, you want to practice a little bit on mispositioning, but you want to practice on really getting those great engages. Wukong had a good engage, only thing is team couldn't follow up with damage, and sadly for now they had to back away from that, right? But also, you really want to know how to defend as well. I really didn't really peel off for Diana right after Diana died, but again, Diana is the AP assassin, so you really can't do anything about Diana dying. I mean, she's probably going to die anyway. But, you know, in general, you want to try to defend your carries if you're the relay player or if you're the Wukong player as well. So those are two big things you want to learn if you're actually ahead. How to secure your game more, how to win out more, but also, if you need to misposition yourself out more, how to outplay your opponent as well. But other than that, like really truly solo queue, it's just a practice of the stuff. It's a practice of what you can do and what your team can do for you, right? So you're just trying to learn, and you're trying to just, you know, move on to, well, if my self play can do this and I can do that, then I can kind of win this out easily. And in instances where, you know, you're at 1100 elo, oh sorry about that, you're at 1100 elo or you're at like 1200 elo and you're like, well, my team's like 15 down, I can't do too much. Just take a little bit of, you know, just knowledge and say, well, if I can ward this later, I can definitely think of the next game and say, oh, well, this defends from this invade or so. Like I would say, oh, level 1, they invaded and we got 5-0 when we had a red star jungler. If we warded this earlier, or if we warded this bush earlier, we would be safer, and slash, if we do have another red star jungler, we can protect ourselves early. It's just those little things that will make you a way better gamer, per se, but also just way knowledgeable of what's going to be happening in this game. Big engagement right now. Cho'Gath took so much damage back, but did not matter. It really changed out from the game right here with that ultimate from Gragas, and Gragas is going to win. Gragas right now, I mean, what he did was kind of just bait himself what Cho'Gath baited himself as well. And Cho'Gath slash St. Vicious was like, well, I know the damage output is strong, but it's pretty minimal to what I can take. So, you know, I'll be able to tank up so much more, and I'll just have my hyper carry Jax and have my carry Ezreal slash Gragas take pretty much all the damage down. And that's pretty much what Cho'Gath said, and he did that, and it was pretty good. So the last little thing I'm going to take away from it, there's always these instances where you, or in solo queue, that you have to do chases and stuff like that. And we're going to be talking about how team ranked and team play in general, just queue up stuff and stuff like that, will work out to really tell you to practice those little instances plus even more. Again, guys, this is episode 21, the team of solos. Again, it is L3IRD. Gonna be talking about this again. Sorry about the shifty meta. Episode 4 should have been about Rengar, but again, Rengar got globally banned, and we will be right back.